So let's talk about leadership. That's really what I train on when I'm out there speaking, is leadership. And I think leadership is more than just a position. It's about purpose. It's about really having a vision. It's about being able to influence people. And I think that I've been blessed to work with a bunch of bad leaders. So I've learned a lot about leadership as well as just my own trainings. And I've written about leadership in several books as well. But I want to talk about the top 4 reasons why leaders fail. All right, so I'm going to talk about that now. So the number one reason why leaders fail is that they're colorblind. Now, I'll tell you a story. When I was working for a company, I was working for a nonprofit organization. I was director of marketing and what do they call it? Development. So so my job was to get people to donate to the organization. So I had should I take that out? I coughed in the video. Should I take that out? I'm gonna leave it in. So anyway, because people cough. So focus, Ryan. So anyway, I had an assistant, development assistant. Let's call him John. All right. So I'm sitting there with John. John was new, so I was sitting there with John. We had a spreadsheet, and the spreadsheet was color coded. And I was having a conversation with John. I was telling John, okay, listen, John, all the people in red are people who donated before, but maybe we haven't heard from them in 5 years. All the people in blue were people who donated last year, but maybe we need new information. Or all the people in green, people who donated this year. So I said, I want you to go through this, find out, sort the people so we can know who we need to contact. And I look at John, and John's looking at me like, and I'm like, oh, what happened? What did you miss? What don't you understand, John? And then John tells me, he says, Ryan, I'm colorblind. And I was like, wow, colorblind. So he couldn't even see the colors. Like he couldn't decipher the colors that were on the spreadsheet to be able to do his job. Now, as a leader, I had 2 choices. One, I could say, well, John, figure it out. That's what a lot of bad leaders do. Or I do what I did. I said, well, okay, well, let's figure out a new way to accomplish this goal. And I think that a lot of bad leaders, they're colorblind. They think that when they say something, that's it. And you figure it out, as opposed to understanding that each individual whom they lead has different needs, has different skill sets, has different abilities and disabilities. And you have to be able to connect with every single one of them. You have to be able to reach them at their level and then pull them up. And I think that poor leaders don't do that. Poor leaders think, I said it, figure it out, get it done. I don't know why we romanticize, this hard way of going about it and just do it. Like, no, leadership is about developing people. I think the worst leaders are the ones who be like, hey, just do it, get it. I came out the mud. Okay, well, I took a shower. I washed myself, the mud off. I don't know, whatever. That probably don't make sense. But my point is simply that as a leader, you got to be able to relate to each individual and reach them where they are.